Hmm.
First of all, I will pin the post on the group. Yep, we are live now.
Sounds good to me, man.
First of all, I would let you present yourself first.
Present myself. How much time do you have, man?
Feel free.
Okay, well, long story short, I'm a Bulgarian guy who spent 10 years in Denmark. I was pursuing my education, my master degree, but actually my mission, my initial idea was to become a Wall Street banker. So I did a master in finance, but I got really passionate and excited about movies and filmmaking. So that's how actually my entrepreneurial journey began. I started making movies and specifically videos for businesses, started my own agency in Aarhus in Denmark. And this is my real business school, when you go down in the trenches and actually try to figure it out. And so I've been doing that for, I think, 5 years, running this agency. But what I'm most passionate about is actually working with people, and specifically these days supporting teams to create as much of a great culture that they can, a strong culture based on the principles of productivity, leadership, and just recently I published my first book together with Cristobal Alonso, who's the...
I will ask you about the book.
You asked me about a book. Okay, great. So just recently we published the book with Cristobal Alonso, my co-author, who's the CEO of Startup Wise Guys, one of the leading European startup accelerators. Other than that, I'm always engaged into a bunch of different projects. I have my own podcast, as you know, and I'm super excited about bringing people together and creating communities where it's all about help and sharing and supporting each other, which is why I'm really excited to be here, because Alex, you've been doing an exceptional job to really connect people and empower and embrace this mindset.
Thanks a lot. I have the second question. How do you motivate yourself? Because you motivate others a lot, but how do you motivate yourself? It's fantastic. I don't really understand, how do you stay motivated?
I gotta tell you, man, I have some days I wake up and I'm just like, I feel negative, I feel grumpy, and usually people see me always positive, and so the thing is, I guess I just don't want to be there much. When I catch myself in a negative place, I have my own ways to get myself higher up, right, in a higher mental state. And there's a bunch of different things I do. It's not a rocket science. I mean, I might go for a run. I might listen to some really good podcast. I might call a friend or a mentor and just have a conversation and raise myself up. I might just, one of the things when you're feeling really low, just try to help somebody, right? Like, can I call somebody and see if I can be there for them? Because then you shift the perspective and you're feeling again in a more of a higher mental state, which allows you to, if you have a problem or a challenge or an issue, to see it from a different perspective.
Yeah, it's very important, because most of the people think we can be all the time here, but that's not true, right?
I mean, we're human, right?
Yep.
I don't care.
I think so.
I never met you in person, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, we have emotions, we have feelings, and we have really bad days. I don't care who you are. At some point or another, you're gonna have a business breakdown, or somebody that you love will pass away, or get really sick. And I mean, there's moments, there's things, or you will just have this product launch, for example, right? And then you've exhausted yourself in the team and you get into this negative frame. Everybody goes through this, and that's fine.
Yes, of course. I in startups, you heard about Dead Valley, right? after a period of time when you scale your business and everything is great, so a lot of investors want to join, you've got a big investment. After that, I try to explain to the team, because sometimes they ask me, Alex, what happens? Everything is excellent, but we are not motivated the same like last month. So I try to explain them, guys, we've got 500,000 as investment. It's normal that you feel a little bit relaxed and anxious a little bit, because you don't know what happens next, because we already achieved something amazing. And yeah, so most of people don't talk about it. So you motivate other people by telling the truth, right?
Yeah, and that's also, you mentioned we're going to talk about the book, but one of the main things behind it is I feel like we're painting too much of a one-sided picture sometimes, right? Like we look at these big tech entrepreneurs and companies, specifically American ones often, and I don't know, you've probably been talking to a lot of early stage founders, but when I do a workshop before I coach some startups, especially early stage, often, we give them some questions to prepare. Where do you want to be 5 years in the future, like with your company? And the answers would be usually, we make an exit to Amazon, we $1 billion company, this and that. And I'm like, I mean, it's great. You need to have a big vision, but the reality is much different, right? You've been
Yeah.
there many times yourself, Alex. It's, as much as it comes with the benefits, you're your own boss. You can choose what to do with your time and what product to build, what markets to pursue. It also comes with the other side. Being an entrepreneur is a lonely ride often, and it's sometimes really difficult. Like you might have sleepless nights, miss the wedding of a best friend because you have this thing to handle. You're the last person in command. We love to say the metaphor with the jungle. When you start your own company, everybody thinks it's glamorous journey and everything is just fancy. I'm gonna pitch at conferences and wear my beautiful clothes and I'm gonna be so important. But the truth is, you basically just enter the jungle. You are Mr. Nobody, and you get into this place where there's so many things that can literally kill you. And your main task is to really survive. Specifically, the first couple of years, you need to build the basics. All right, like how do I ensure we have cash flow so we can keep running? How can I start attracting people into my crowd, the first team members that will set the fundamentals of what our culture is going to be? So I have somebody like a safe space. Together we have a bigger chance to potentially build something of meaning. But it's going to be hard. It's a jungle. There's a lot of things I don't know yet. There's a lot of competitors, markets,
Legal
legislation,
issue, la la la,
legal issues,
taxation,
which
people who join and after that they leave.
yeah, you just in the moment you're like, wow, everything is just working perfect, and then boom, the next thing to solve. It's so, it doesn't mean don't go and become entrepreneur and don't pursue if you already started. No, but you got to be prepared what's to come. Very few of the people who decide to start something actually succeed. In fact, there was a report, I've been looking for a lot of data around it. There was a report that I'm not sure what was the name of the study, but I think less than 1 out of 10 startups is still going to be operating in just a few years being on the market. Doesn't mean they're making money. It just means they still have the company registered.
Yes, of course. You know why?
I have some suggestions, but I'm curious to hear yours first.
My opinion is you need to be able to handle failure. If you handle failure and you keep going, doesn't matter what, you can become a real entrepreneur. So I've built over 20 startups and I fail a lot, but really a lot. a lot. I lose not just money and companies. I lose also my best friends doing business with them. So but the pain give you some power to continue. This is my perspective.
I do believe it has a lot with the mindset.
Yep. And
Because
do you think we can work to improve our mindset, or it's something unchangeable?
absolutely, man, everybody can change their mindset, and I do believe it's all here. And sometimes you might read a book, you might listen to something, and it makes sense intellectually, but then you have to go and to do the mistakes yourself to be able to learn, right? But if you
Yeah.
have the mindset, as you said, you've been an entrepreneur 20 times, building different things. Well, you did it 20 times, right? You felt a lot of times. You didn't stop. Like, you just know that I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. That's
Yep.
that's part of the whole thing. And I'm probably going to be feeling like really bad at some situations, and lonely, and I feel like an idiot, and that's fine. This is part of the whole journey, right? So the first thing is obviously setting up this mindset. Uh, so, but according to research and studies, again, to get back to studies, they did a study asking startups who failed what do they think are the main reasons for failure, according to them, obviously, subjectively. I think number one, 42% said it's they didn't manage to find product market fit on time.
Yep.
And
This is the main reason, right?
number one reason that they pointed, the startups that failed.
But from my point of view, to find product market fit, it's very easily. You need to go on the street to find a problem, to solve that problem, and you have product market fit, because people and companies want to pay for something that they don't have. So just solve a problem from the society, and you have product market fit.
Look, it sounds very easy and simple when you say it. In reality, what do most, especially early stage founders, first time founders, do? Not that. What do? They go and say, man, like maybe they meet at a hackathon, or they have this idea. I have this amazing idea about this app and these features, and they start building, and they start building, and then the mentor goes and says, hey, did you talk to customers about it? And they say, no, 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 but we're not ready yet. We have to build it, and we have to do this and that and that. And obviously, at some point, they spend a lot of time trying to perfect a product or a feature or whatever that they haven't really validated. They haven't seen, does anybody want to actually buy this thing, So
it's also about marketing, because you can have a fantastic product, but without marketing, nobody heard about your product, and nobody will use it. So you will not have income. Cannot generate profit. On the other part, you can make a lot of marketing for a poor product, and you will not succeed. So you need to find the balance, right?
yeah, I believe so. But what you mentioned before is something I personally really believe in, which is, start speaking to potential customers from day one. I give you an example. We were building this mastermind retreat. I would go to all these events with Tony Robbins and personal development conferences and boot camps and so on. So I was very excited to bring this to my country, to Bulgaria. And I found the right partners. So a few years ago, they had this beautiful place in the mountains. They've been organizing similar boot camps. So I presented them my idea. They jumped in, we built on it. Amazing, oh my God, we're going to do this 5-day event. It's going to be better than Tony Robbins. It's going to be amazing. We're going to bring some of the best speakers, and we're going to do this, and 5-star hotels. And in our heads, it's like amazing, like why wouldn't everybody buy this? It's it's like, it's amazing. I would buy it, so probably more people will. So we started building the whole things around it. And because of all the other projects, I think we had like 2 months from launching a web page and starting to selling it to the time that people have to actually come. And I'm like, yeah, it's gonna. We only have 12 spots. Of course, it's a high-end product, but it's gonna sell out really fast, right? Um,
Yep. I
what?
just got an advice for the community from you.
Sorry.
I just receive an advice for the community from you.
Okay. Do you want me to finish this, or should I?
No, 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 no. You said that you enjoy your product. So it's very important to build a product that you think you will use, right?
I did say that. Yes, I did say that.
Yeah, you said that it's very, very good advice for our community.
I mean, I definitely did. This was. We can go into this kind of a conversation. I think you can succeed without doing it if you find the right market and you're excited about maybe building it, not exactly using it. But if you're actually the potential user of this product, sorry, you're a lot more likely to be very passionate about building it, right? So I do believe a lot in passion and in purpose and in not just you as a founder, but the people that you bring on board. You don't get a developer. Maybe a developer you can get but you don't get people on board to just because they're really good in what they do. Ideally, you want to get somebody on board who is super excited about the thing you're gonna do, the difference you're gonna make, the product. Because a few years ago, I had a client in Copenhagen, and he comes to me. He's like, Stoyan, how do I motivate people who are consistently underpaid? I mean, you can't pay the same, especially early on, as a corporate's going to pay financially. So how do you get people motivated to build and to be part of the thing, to put on sometimes more hours? You said it. They got to enjoy it. They got to be passionate about it. They have to be excited about the kind of difference and impact that you're making with this product. So indeed.
And the startup can give them some shares, some stock in the company.
Potentially, yes.
Tell us about your book.
What about it? What do you want to know? Here's the
What
book.
it's about? It's about, yeah, perform, yeah.
Perform the unsexy truth about startup success.
It's a book about startups, or about startup success, or about success.
That's a very good question, Alex. Thanks for asking. So basically, it's not the usual startup book. So it's not talking about sales and marketing and how to build the product and create the MVP and so on and so forth. It's actually looking at how do you build a team? How do you consistently pay attention to the factors that will help you to create a strong culture from the get-go? So the book is separated in 7 areas. Perform is an acronym, basically. So it stands for P, purpose and values. How do we define our culture? What are the values? What is the vision? What's the purpose? Is everybody around the company aligned around those things? And what is the process of actually building a strong alignment around our values? Not just on paper, but really living them. The second one is E, effective planning. So how do we strategize? How do we set the strategy and bring these goals into a day-to-day time management and teach our team? It's a lot about leadership as a founder. How do I teach my team to take ownership and to make sure that they're focused on the right things that are connected to this kind of a more strategic objectives that they have? Then is our roles and responsibilities. Everybody wants to say, I'm the CEO, I'm the president, the COO, right? Everybody knows the role of the people. Apparently, not everybody is very aligned around what the responsibilities of each person is. So how do we define responsibilities within the team, and how do we make sure that they are not only aligned around the strengths and the skills people have, but actually around their passions? Because the more people do things that they're good at and they enjoy, the more likely they'll be more excited to do it, and in the long run that has great benefits. F is focus and execution, right? One thing is to set goals and to plan, but it's a completely different thing. How do we actually execute on those goals, and how do we keep our focus on the things that are most important at the moment, completing results? I might be focused on sales the whole day and haven't done any sales call.
Right.
That's not getting things done. That's just focus, right? So how do we master those? O stands for optimal energy, or basically, how do I create a culture where I'm the example as a founder that well-being, taking care of yourself, recharging your energy should be a number one priority, because you're going to be spending a lot of energy. So what are the things that give you energy, and how can I spread them across the team as a mindset? R, the second R, stands for robust communication. So again, systems of communication. How often and how frequently do we talk to our team? How do we set up weeklies, dailies, and specifically, how do we effectively give each other feedback? And then the last one is mental toughness. Again, building a company is really, really hard sometimes. And 2020, 2021.
All the time. After 20 startups, believe me, all the time it's hard.
Right. So mental toughness for me is about two things. It's about how do I decrease the stress to the best of my extent, because stress comes from everywhere. But how do I decrease it to the best of my extent? And how do I increase my capability of handling stress? Because most stress will come my direction. But if I manage as a leader to have my tools to remain calm with a cool head, even with the largest of stressors and circumstances, I have a way bigger chance to respond appropriately and give my team the example that they need from a leader. So that's the book all about. It's very practical. It's very hands-on. We interviewed 50 plus founders of people, of teams, of startups from the region. Specifically, we call it New Europe. So New Europe is this region of Central Eastern Europe, and it's more about a mindset. But we wanted to really put some practical examples, strategies, tools. What do these companies and founders use themselves to be able to be on top of each of these 7 areas? So it's our attempt to really give a different look at startups, not the Silicon Valley flashy, everything is going to be great, be positive, but really what it takes from my perspective and from the perspective of my co-founder, co-author, who's the CEO of one of the largest startup accelerators and been working with many startups himself. So super excited about it. And if you have any follow-up questions on some of the topics, I'll be super happy to explore them with you.
My wife just ordered a book, and we wait for the book, and I will come back to you to ask you. You had the podcast, The Leaders Who Care.
Yes.
So do you think there are leaders who don't care?
Well, they probably care for different things.
Okay, no, care about the people.
Yes, I would say care about making a positive impact. So the whole idea behind the leaders who care is, who are those leaders out there who are not just creating, achieving business results and making more money and profit, but they're also maybe quietly want to make a positive impact, and they do it, be it by caring for their employees, be it by maybe supporting some really noble cause by planting trees somewhere or whatever, but making a positive impact. Who are those exceptional leaders, global leaders that we can feature, and hopefully that way inspire other people to to pay it forward as well, as you do, Alex. Again, I'll keep on saying that, but I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity to meet you and to see how much you've been sharing with the community, connecting people. I mean, you're a leader who cares, right?
Yep, 100%. But I care about the people. My father teach me to, doesn't matter, Alex, you make money, you lose, doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you need to enjoy every day of your life. Doesn't matter what. Of course, when you lose your grandmother, you cry. It's a pain. But after 1 month, 2 months, doesn't matter, 1 year, you smile again and you enjoy the life again, because this is life. It's about, in life you need to be happy. This is my mentality from when I was born. My family teach me in this way. And if you build a company, remember every single minute that you are with a group of people. And if you are the CEO, general manager, you need to take care of them after you take care of yourself. So first of all, you need to take care of yourself. If you don't sleep well, you will be like a zombie in the office. And it's impossible to talk with your people, with your team. Brandon Thomas, true. We have a guy who is with us at this hour. Amazing. Thank you very much, Thomas. What is success from your point of view?
I think you already sort of, spoke about it. I think it really comes down to figuring out who you are, achieving results that are connected to who you want to be, and enjoying the journey. I mean, you really said it super well, because I think, and it's a great topic to elaborate on. Sometimes we want to build these amazing companies and businesses, and sometimes actually people do. But is it all about achievement? Is this business, and if you keep on working on it in 5 or 10 years, is that going to give you the fulfillment and the happiness as well? Or is it just going to give you the numbers in the bank account? And so if you're not happy, I don't care how much money you make.
Yeah, we both know people with 7 figures or more. They are not happy. They just continue to make money just because this is the only way they know how to live the life.
Let me tell you a story, man. There was from the time I was a movie producer, I met a guy from. He was working for this show, Adventure Time. He was on Cartoon Network at the time. Now it's on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen it, but he was the lead designer creating the universe of the show, and he was really, really crushing it in his career, working 80-hour weeks. At the time, he was 28, 29, I think. Rising star. Everybody knows him in the industry, in the animation, illustration kind of world. And he worked 2 seasons on the show, and he retired. I met him right after he did, and I was like, "So what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I bought a little forest in Vermont. I built a house on a tree because I love to do stuff with my hands. I'm here with my wife, with my kids. There's a little town nearby, like 15 minutes walking. So right now I'm working 20, 25 hours a week. And I can afford it because I have a good, rate to how much they pay me. But the truth is, I just had a interesting experience in my early years when he was 16, 17. He went through a lot of pain, which made him very quickly get self-aware what he wants. He's a family guy. He loves to hang out and walk in the woods and meditate with his son and just to build stuff. And he's not a workaholic, and he knows that. And I think everybody needs to ask this question: who am I? I mean, look, many of us are workaholics,
It's a hard question to put.
But it's not so hard, really. If you're honest to yourself, if you're honest to yourself, if you forget all the expectations of what first of all, your parents want you to be, what the society wants you to be, where success is only numbers. So the question is, who are you? What really makes you happy? What's the kind of...
I put that question to myself a few years ago, and that moment was the best moment of my life, because I start change my life exactly how I want. Because from my point of view, it's very, very important to ask yourself. Doesn't matter when you are 40, when you are 30, when you are lucky if you put that question when you are 25, 22, 20.
And look, it's a never-ending journey, right? Maybe when you're
Yeah.
23, you want to work like crazy, and then at some point it's like, hey, it doesn't feel right. If I can have a perfect week, right? And some of you who are watching and listening now, later on can play some nice instrumental music, close your eyes, and just try to imagine, if I can have the magic wand of Gandalf or whatever, and I can create the life the way I want it to be, how would a week of mine look like? How much would I work? What kind of a company am I going to build? What kind of a difference am I going to make? And what do I do with the rest of my life? Right? I mean, business is one thing, career is one thing, but who do I want to have a relationship with? Where do I want to live? What do I want to do and have fun with? How do I create the workplace where I'm actually enjoying myself on top of achieving results?
From my point of view, you can enjoy yourself, doesn't matter if you have money or not. Because I was bankrupt, no money at all. I put my laptop in the pound store and I was happy. I just, with the last 10 lei, €2, let's say, I go to the coffee shop and I stay, I enjoy the sun. So trust me, you can have that kind of mindset. You can enjoy the life and everything without having money. And I know, I remember a few years ago, I tried to find, I don't know, let's say €30 to recover the laptop from the pawn shop. And after a period of time, I just deny a proposal to get an investment of 3 million euros. So, this is life. If you have the right mentality, the mindset, if you work to it, if you don't have, you need to work to get that. So people must know that it is not impossible to have the good mindset, right? You need to work.
Yeah, man, really, it's about, if you have a commitment, you get there.
Of
right?
course, 100%.
I mean, who are the people that I want to be? I'm always so about that. Who are the people I want to be around? And sometimes you can't, because you get the mindsets and the energy, the way of thinking of those that you're most surrounded by, right? So who are the people I want to be around? Like you're doing now a podcast, right? You're bringing in interesting guests. There's free podcasts. You can listen to audiobooks. You can get books. You can get online courses. You can ask people for coffee, and actually many times they'll say yes. So how do I surround myself with the right kind of mentality, but personally take ownership, right? And say, hey, I'm going to meditate in the morning. I'm going to go and exercise my body. I'm going to eat good foods. I'm going to, every time I start complaining and gossiping and whatever, immediately going to stop. Like, these are habits we can all build, and it becomes like a momentum. The more you do these things, the more likely you want to do it. You're kind of building a muscle. So I'm so excited about this abundance mindset, man. We spoke the other day. It's all abundance. There's value for everybody, man.
Of course. And what startups don't and founders don't know, there are more money in the market than startups with a business plan pitch deck and the team and the product ready to scale. So there are more money in the market than a lot of people contact me, Alex, connect me with a venture capital firm, or you are an angel investor, please help us with the investment. But it's not, they don't understand there are more venture capital firms out there with money, with cash, than startups with a good idea and enough energy to do it.
Yeah, and then you said it well, like the package of, and maybe for those who are looking for those kind of relationship with, maybe try to put yourself in the shoes of the investor, right? If I was an investor looking for a startup, what would make me invest in a team? It's an investment, you know, it's not a charity. So if you're looking for, just try to see, what am I missing right now? Is the team not so aligned? Is the product not, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So often we get into, why are they not giving us this? Like, well, put yourself in their shoes. Why do you think? What did you change if you want to be able to attract this investment? What did you change if you want the customer to buy a product? Would you buy a product? Would you invest in your company if it was you on the other side? So,
yep. What do you think about feelings in business? It's something that you need to put out of the business, or you can show to the people your feelings in business when you are doing business?
great question. I think I'm a big proposer, like, what do you call it? Promoter of a more humane, more human kind of approach to business. Now, if you're a leader of a company and you feel like everything is crashing, maybe you don't want to go and say, oh my God, we're going to die, it's incredible. Like, having feelings doesn't mean that all the time you have to, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
But it does, like, you can still go and say, hey guys, when you're a little calmer, right? Guys, something bad happened, and I'm a little afraid that the next few months are not going to be that easy. But if we stick together, we'll go this and that and that, right? So I mean, I'm still sharing my feelings, but it's not coming from a place of scarcity, right? So
Yeah.
so I do believe not only we need to be able as leaders to share our feelings, we need to be able to create a culture where people are not afraid to share their feelings, and that's the tough one. Because you're the boss. You might decide to share or not. Your team, they might be afraid. What if I show weakness? Maybe my boss will do this and that.
But this is not the reality. From my point of view, we want to know if they are okay with our ideas or not, if they are okay with the team, with the rest of the team, if they are okay with the product, if they are okay in general. So this is my perspective. I take care of people. So my role in the company as a CEO, and I want to share this with the community, it's to take care of the team. To take care. The product, the money, the operational stuff, the legal stuff, the taxation, if we broke a computer, doesn't matter. What is important from my point of view is the team. To build a strong team that communicate very easily, one with each other, doesn't matter if we are 200 or 5. A strong team. So every and each company is just a group of people, right? If they are on the same path, on the same, they share the same values and mentality, they succeed because they find a way to succeed. If they just need to have a product or a service.
If you have built this team where they trust you, they trust each other, they care for each other, they walk through fire to support each other, you know, and if you're sharing the same values, beliefs, principles, if you find that the right type of people, man, that's the core of everything. I'm fully with you, man. Like,
and some people, trust. How you build trust? By being honest, right? be who you are. So when I had some bad days, I had headaches. I don't know. I talk with my team. Hey, let me alone. I had a headache today, and they laugh. They understand, and that's it. So being who you are, I think you take something from Denmark. So 10 years in Denmark, it's you. They have very interesting values, right?
Trust,
Regarding,
trust
yeah,
is one of the core values of the whole society. I'm
yeah.
gonna tell you, man. I've there were days I will leave my laptop in the library. Come in a couple of days, it's still there. Like you don't even think about that somebody could potentially steal it. You know, it's just there's no. It doesn't come to people's minds. So it's such
You
a
know, there are also all over the world. There are small places like Denmark. I live in right now in north part of Bucharest, and I forgot a bag full of things outside. And after half an hour, still there, and a lot of people work. So there are all over the world. There are small places, small Denmarks. Unfortunately, the society, for example, in Romania, it's a fantastic country. It's full of fantastic people, great people. Romania, Bulgaria, but the reality, it's lack of trust, right? Most of people, if I let my laptop in the library for half an hour, 100% is not there after half an hour, right?
and I think we still have a huge job to do to empower, especially founders in we call the region New Europe, right? Um, to trust their team more, to be more vulnerable when, as you said, you know, you're not feeling well. Instead of trying to play it strong, we actually share with the team. It's a long way we should still walk to be able to create this mentality that I should be just taking care of the team. I should be vulnerable and share when I'm not feeling well, when things are not here and there. And even to say, hey, I have so much stuff to do, but I know I need to be there for this person of my team at the moment that maybe they have some personal issue. Okay, I'm the leader. I need to take care of my people, right? So maybe I should just take everything away, even though we have a deadline, whatever. Just sit with them for an hour and be there for this person. And it's hard, right? You're a startup, you're always behind time. you know, it's
Uh, After 12 years, it's much more easier, to be honest, because this is my example. I share with you. We have this community, and if I have a question, it's very easily. There are over 120, no, 119 people. So 90% of them, they are actively each month, and 20,000 active every single day. So if I have a question, it's very easily after you have a strong community behind you. So after a period of time, when you have a community or you are part of a community, it's very easily. It's
yeah,
easily.
and in a way, the growth is not linear, like with anything. Be it with building a community, be it with building your startup. Hi, Alexandro. Be it with anything you want to build. Like at the beginning, you're putting so much effort, and it looks like there's no progress. You can't see the fruits of your work, the results, and it could be very demotivating. But it's not true. It's like seeds, right? You put them under the ground, and it's like, nothing's coming out. It's like, why am I putting so much work in this? But at some point, they start to go out of the the earth and start giving fruit and growing, and the effect is so like that's what I'm gonna say, man. Like just do the best that you can today. Forget about tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't yesterday doesn't exist. Tomorrow you can plan and set a vision and you get excited about tomorrow, but it also doesn't exist. What can I do right now? That's the best thing I can do to solve the problems, to move the business forward, to build a community. How do I maximize my time today? And how do I
So
be the best
today
leader
is
I can
today,
be?
right? Every day is today.
Every day is today. Every moment is today. Right?
There is no future in the present
I mean,
and
look,
no
man.
past.
Look, I used to be a movie producer, right? I don't know if you've been constructing screenplays and stories, but what you do is there's certain structures in stories. How do, like, here's the climax, right? Here's where the character is slaying the dragon, or like, whatever it is. There's this character at the beginning of the movie that usually gets a hit at the very beginning. It's like opening scene, something bad happens, they you know that's what it is, right? And then the whole movie is like, it's not like a linear line. It's like the guy's going down and up and down and up, and
Yep.
a lot of obstacles, a lot of, notice that there's no past in the movie. They might talk about it, but you only see the opening scene. So those of you who are watching right now, you are the opening scene of your movie right now. That's it. You might think about, oh, why did I do this yesterday, and stay there, but that's not going to help you. Yesterday is yesterday. You're giving now. It's only forward I can look into, right? And yes, there are going to be obstacles. Yes, I'm going to be lost. Yes, I'm going to be confused at points. That's part of the journey. That's fine. Let's move on. How fast can I get back to this higher, like a mental state, so I can be appropriately engaged, as David Allen would say, the GTD guy, getting things done author. How can I be appropriately engaged in this moment? Look, it might be I'm in the biggest challenge at the moment, in the biggest obstacle. Would it help me to worry about, oh my God, why did I do this? Oh, I shouldn't have done. No, that's not helpful. What helps is for me to calm down. It might take me a couple of hours sometimes, right? How do I get myself into a higher state? Good. So what's next? How can I solve the problem? Where is the solution? Who can I ask? Who can I call? So you create clarity.
Who can I ask? So do you think networking is important?
Who can? Of course, man. It's huge.
No, for example, I asked Simon Squibb. He just sold his company Fluid for a lot of money, for a few lives. So he told me that it's over. It's not that important.
Networking, or
Yeah.
but what?
His vision. I must respect his vision.
No, I see where you come from. Like, he has a vision. Networking, depending on what you mean by networking. If he means by networking,
in business, if networking is important or not.
well, if you mean by networking building connections and relationships, yes, it is big time. So I think it's really important. Not networking for the sake of networking, like let's just go and network and for no purpose, but networking for the sense of creating long-term relationships that are oriented on creating value in between each other. Absolutely, man. I mean, everything is people, man. Everything is relationship.
Yeah. Of course, this is also my vision, and I believe that nobody can change this in my
Business,
mind.
you said it right. Business is about trust in between people. Like making businesses, your customer needs to trust you. Your partner needs to trust you. Somebody needs to open a door to this investor. And I mean,
Of course, we both have connection, right? I have some connection, you have some connections, but I can introduce you to my connection, you can introduce you to your connection. So
the
this
other
is
day
how it works.
the other day we were speaking, right? And I was like, hey, man, you're building this podcast. Like, check out my podcast. Do you want to be introduced to somebody? Like, of course, it's about connections, man. Like,
I want to ask you something. You said that you have a connection who have something related to Cartoon Network. I don't know.
yes.
I want to invite Tom and Jerry to my podcast. If it's
I'll see what I can do, man. I'll see what
okay.
I can do.
So
Hey, look, I don't know Tom personally.
you don't know Tom, but okay.
No, no.
Jerry.
Yeah, a friend of mine has been, attending the same high school.
So feel free to send any startup to pitch their business in front of our community. Feel free. Yeah.
So you're looking for founders, for
For founders who want to raise capital, they can pitch for free, 100% free, their business in front of our community. We have a lot of investors, over a few thousand investors. Yeah. So feel free if they want also.
anything specific, like, what stage they're in, or like what's.
No. If they build something that people want, we are happy to help them. So what do you think about the ability to adapt? I create a video yesterday.
Major.
Major?
I mean, look, man, 2020 was an exceptional year in terms of giving opportunity for people to embrace this quality, right? You might have a business and specific plans, and then boom, global pandemic. You need to adapt, man, every single day. Getting back to the jungle metaphor, you're in the jungle. You walk, and then all of a sudden, oh, poisonous snake. You gotta adapt, man. You gotta change your perspective every single day. So it's always this dance, right, in between. I have a clear objective, I have a clear plan, but at any moment I'm ready to switch and change, and with respect to the new data that's coming into play, right? So
yes, so it's important. What is you met a lot of people in your career, I'm sure. What is the difference between a company with a leader who care and a leader who doesn't care too much? What is the difference from your point of view?
I think the first example, a company with a leader who doesn't care, I still think they can probably do the numbers. They can still succeed. There's multiple examples. I think many people talk about Uber, for example, as a company that's like just about getting things done, achieving results, those kind of things. So you can still, but there's no soul, right? People get motivated because of the name, because of the paycheck, whatever. But at the end of the day, there's, and specifically in situations like, leaders who care, situations like crisis. This crisis has been a good example. I interviewed a guy. You should actually have him on the podcast. He's a great guy from a creation company called The Gordian. The guy's amazing. He's culture first kind of guy. He won, I think. He's a young guy. He's 33 years old. He's built a 200 plus people agency in Croatia. 8 times he won the best employer in Croatia. And the guys are living it. They care for the people, well-being of the people, making sure everybody's understood, like many different practices to not just to talk about it, but to really live this thing. And I don't remember the numbers at the moment, but I remember, Corona crisis came, and it's an agency. They're very dependent on the budgets of whatever their customers are. So apparently their revenues are going in the next months. It's very uncertain. And he goes and he talks to the people, and people are actually offering him not to get paid. He's not doing that. People come and say, hey, we want to chip in. We care for the leader. We care for the company. So in times of difficulties, if you've been caring, if you've been just being there for the people, of course they want to have your back, man.
100%, yes. It happens to me, but it happens also the opposite. I've got an investor in 2016, I think, and it was like an authoritarian person, like that, yeah. And I was the CEO, and he put me to hire 25 developers, and after 1 month to fire 20 of them to keep 5. And I asked him why we are not looking more to find 5 very good developers and that's it. Why to play like that? And he said, Alex, I'm with the money. If you want to be the CEO of the company, just respect what I said. So he was the CEO somehow. I was just yeah, Alex. We know that Alex. It was with me in that company when I was the CEO. I left in a couple of months. I left the company, but it's very important to, from my point of view, to take care of.
He was looking at people as numbers and assets, not as humans.
So we don't have soul, right?
No, but it's like the moment you start treating, people as just another asset, which is on the salary, and this is on the spreadsheet, right? That's I definitely,
No, I get your advice, so I will delete the spreadsheet with the salaries. So guys, forgot about salaries. I just had a fantastic call. You are not numbers, so you will not receive the salaries this month.
I had a great advice from Stoyan.
He have a great book. I believe he's.
But hey, if you want to talk to me, I'm a leader who cares.
So you care about people, you don't care about numbers. So it's fantastic. What do you think about this? It's full of failure. It only takes 1 year for success. Yeah. What do you think? This is motivated? This is motivating, sorry, or unmotivated at all? Because it's full of failure.
Man, the story I started sharing, but I didn't finish, was about this retreat we were organizing, right? And
Okay.
We only had 2 months to sell the tickets, 12 tickets. I personally called 1,400 people, like on your graph there. So 12 of them said yes. Actually, some of my partners closed. Maybe I've closed 6 or 7 of these 1,400 calls. Not only calls, it was like a insanity. It was an obsession. I'll go to the dentist and there's no time. Hey man, we have this retreat. I gotta tell you about this thing, man. It's amazing. You gotta come. So like, that's the way, man. That's the way forward, especially when you're building something nobody knows you, right? And the moment you realize it, the thing that you have in the bag is amazing. The moment you accept it, that this little, I don't even want to call it failure, because it's a stepping stone.
Yep.
You call one person and they're like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to buy this. Why don't you want to buy it? Well, there are too many features, but it's a little expensive. Okay, good. Get feedback. This is a win. I got feedback. They wouldn't buy anyway. That's not a
failure. Is a win. Failure is a win.
Well, it's a failure if you look. There's a different type of failure. If you have a meeting with a great investor and then you're late an hour and a half, this is a failure, right? If you got overslept. But if you did your very best, right? You did your very best in this, and they say, well, no, not now. Then of course, man, like, okay, next, who's next? This person is not in the frequency that I wanted to be to do business with me. Next, and then you're getting better. You're building momentum. This person who said no 2 months ago, be like, hey, do you know this Alex guy? He's actually doing these things. It's not a failure, man. It's a stepping stone.
100%. I will. Nobody knows, just the team, but not all my team knows about it. But we are gonna launch our ebook, and I want to ask you something. You already launched your book. I want to use and to show to the people that grow hack is something good if you don't use something black stuff. So
if it's something of value, like if what you're trying to grow hack is actually something meaningful, that's what you mean, right?
Yeah. Yes. I give you exactly the example, because in the following months I will explain to the people how grow hack works and how to use a grow hack, but in a positive way. For example,
ethical.
I will have the ebook the online version will be I don't know the price, $10, for example,
Mhm.
$29. Yeah, doesn't matter. And I will have just one printed book, and I will put it here for sale, $100,000. I know a lot of people with planes. I know a lot of people in my career. I've met a lot of people with who are looking to buy in the recession Iceland.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I know a lot of 7-figure, 6, 7-figure people. So I know there are some guys who is very easily for them to pay 100K. It's is nothing for them. Yeah. So I will use this marketing strategy, and I will donate that money. So if somebody will pay 100,000, I will donate. But this give me chances to find new people who join my community, my podcast. So it's a marketing strategy, and I want to share this with the community, because I talk a lot about grow hacks because I'm passionate about marketing and online marketing. And when some people heard, not all of them, but when some people heard about growth hacks, they think hacks, it's hackers. Nothing black there.
Yeah, I mean, if your question is about what I think about growth hacking,
Yeah.
um, yeah, definitely. If you do it for ethical reasons and it helps you to, to grow something faster, more efficiently, smarter, automate. Yeah, man, definitely, absolutely. What is the book gonna be about? Is the book gonna be about growth hacking or
No, startup checklist.
startup checklist? Hey, look,
Yeah.
man, send me a link. I would like to pre-order, not the 1 million, like,
Okay.
but like the ebook. I'll be happy to get a copy. Just let me know.
So it's my personal checklist I want to share with anyone. So it was a secret
Yeah.
for many years. It's a big list with everything I must consider when I start a business. So from creating a business plan and a pitch deck, and I have a lot of points you need to check there. So just to think about it, and if when
Check the box.
I succeed when 52% of the list was checked, check. So you don't need to check all of them, but when you check more than half, you already have a successful company. So sometimes I work a lot and I didn't realize that we are successful.
Hmm.
So we generate a lot of profits because I don't care about it. I care about building something people want, but I don't care. I care about if we have money in cash flow enough to pay the salaries and other stuff. But I don't really care about how much money we generate. I don't really care. And people think, hey, Alex, it's crazy. But I'm happy to hear that opinion because it's their opinion. Also, there are some people who think we are workaholics, but I just enjoy, for example, this conversation.
Hmm.
This is my uh, work time, so I'm at work right now.
Yes.
But I just enjoy what I am doing. That's it. It's part of my life. So after I left the office, I enter in the private life. I run. I just enjoy the other things in life. But also is from my point of view, balance. It's when you enjoy also what you are doing in at your job. Doesn't matter if you are the CEO or cleaning lady. Doesn't matter. We are all equal from my point of view.
Man, there are some people that, it's just cleaners. They just love making sure everything is smooth and smells nice, and they're really
Yeah.
passionate and purposeful about it. So, and then they go home, they take care of their kids, and like, sure, man. Like, if are you happy? Getting back to the core question, like, and sometimes you might have to say, hey, here's what I want to be. I might have to push a little hard and do things that I don't enjoy so much, but they will lead me where I want to be. Myself, when I closed down my video production company, I took a part-time job as a dishwasher. Man, I hate washing dishes. Like, some people enjoy doing practical things. I'm
Yeah.
getting bored. But I was like, you know what? This is your vehicle. This is your tool to actually live the life that you want afterwards. How can I get the best out of it? So I bought some of these headphones, and I've been 8 hours at the shift, listening to podcasts, listening to audiobooks. So it's kind of like a dishwashing university, But also it made me more humble. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you know, you gotta respect everybody. So
Yeah.
so it's like happiness, man. Happiness is
You
of
know
everything,
what is
man.
funny? I want to share this with you. I left a company, a very successful company. They generate over, let's say, not 500,000, 400K a month in net profit. But I left the company when a partner said, "Cleaning lady, it's stupid." So that broke me enough to leave the company. So I realized that, I understand. So with money, you are a different person. Doesn't matter. I don't want
And
to
people say, man, money is only accelerating what you already have, right? If you're a good, hard-driven person and you have a lot of money, you actually start giving and making presents and trying to make an impact and treat
yeah,
people
to help others.
nicer. Like, the think about uh you said, somebody said something bad about the house cleaning lady. Honestly, man, some of these people are the best people. As a movie producer, and I'm gonna share this thing, I had this makeup artist for every time we have a production. I
Yeah,
always call Dorte. There's many makeup artists. Maybe some of them were better than her. She was really good, but some of them maybe are better. I don't care. When you have Dorte, she's just one of these cookie ladies, that when people go a little down, Dora's gonna come and give you a hug, and she's going to, when everybody's a little bit tired in the afternoon, Dora comes with the chocolate and the cookies. So that's why I call her the cookie lady. And she gives you a hug, and it's like some people call them cultural architects. Like,
yeah.
it's a bit complicated, but it's like, hey, she's actually giving a lot to the company, because she's bringing so much positive energy. Even she's not, she's maybe diligent at her work, and in order for the whole machine to work, everybody's super important. The CEO is not more important this person in that perspective. So and when you start treating people like that, people get inspired, man. The cleaning lady should be passionate, and she should be inspired to come and to do her best job and to inspire others. So
That cleaning lady, it's with me right now. So she left the company and she started
amazing, man.
working with me again. So yeah, if you work with the soul, if you put really passion in what you are doing, people will follow, and they will be also happy, not just successful, also happy. Because there are two: you can be successful but unhappy, but also you can be happy without being successful. So it's
I was super, like, the last week was really successful for me in terms of, many things happened. I sent 75 of the, printed books. Like, a lot of really cool things happened. But actually, the biggest thing that made me happiest, I had a team call, and we had this team discussion. I asked people. We had a couple of new people, so I just asked people, what do you think are the values that our team stands for? But no bullshit. What do you think are the main things that we prioritize as features, as values? Just write them
okay.
down. Let's discuss them. And one of them says, number one is team well-being. You guys really care for us. You really make sure that if I'm not feeling well, you just say, hey, take a break, don't work, take care of yourself. You ask me how every morning we spend time, and you ask me how was the day, is there anything I can help you with? And we have this discussion. I'm like, man, this is happiness. If I achieve this, I don't care how many books I send. Like, I don't care, man. I mean, I care, but if they're feeling this way, I'm a happy man, and I'll continue trying my best to be there, to be a caring leader. And of course, I can't be as happy with their performance. They're like amazing. they've been smashing it. But I think to some extent they get it even more inspired when they see that they're in a place where we care for each other. So
Denmark has a fantastic impact in your life, in my wife's life too. So she come in Romania a few years ago, 3 years ago, and she come with Denmark values in Bucharest. And she, at the beginning, I was thinking I must convince her that we must adapt in Romania. And she convinced me to adapt Denmark lifestyle in Bucharest. So I live in Denmark part of Bucharest. Because there is a place in Bucharest with value, so with people that put value first, people first, and after that money, cars, and other stuff, success, businesses, and other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, get inspired by your environment and just see what you like, see what you don't like, and start doing it, right?
Yeah.
So
almost, I have a last advice for the community. When I talk with you, I realize sometimes also the sun, it's there to inspire us. So when you don't have a good day, just look at the sun and realize that he's all the time there. All the time. So he is there all the time. So on the night, he's also there. We don't see the sun, we see the moon. But they are all day long there. So if you realize that, you cannot be angry, you cannot be scared. The sun is there. You don't need to do anything about it. It's just there. For us, for all of us, it's free, 100% free. So guys, I want to sell you the sun. It's totally free. If you want to enjoy the life, just think about it. The sun is all the time there.
And just to bring it a little bit more metaphorical, the sun in you is also there, right? You're always this beautiful, good, nice person, and there's a sun shining. Sometimes it's cloudy and we don't see it, right? Sometimes you're angry, you're grumpy, you didn't sleep well, the investor pulled off last minute, but the sun is there. It's always there. So hopefully you get a chance to, to connect with it more. That's so beautiful, man.
It was a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you very much. And I am so excited to receive your book. I will spend few months to read, because I think it's in Bulgarian, right?
No, it's in English.
I hope it's in English.
It's in English. No worries about it.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks so much, man. It's I'm super excited to hear your thoughts on the book, and generally so far the feedback has been exceptional. So we overwhelmed by by positive reviews. So yeah, I mean, if anybody wants a copy, you're more than welcome to check out Perform: The Unsexy Truth About Startup Success, with more than 50 examples and interviews being featured. It's a colored version, and it comes signed from the author. So yeah, that's excited to be part of this community. And thank you so much, Alex, for actually building this community and to really coming with an open heart and trying to connect people, to create value. Super excited to be part of it, and also to pre-order your book when you send me a link.
I said my community, but it's not my community. I said my community because I manage the community, but it's our community. It's not my community.
No, I know. It's you're doing your best to moderate and to facilitate it, but again, it's everybody's community, right? So excited to be part of it, and do my best to contribute with hopefully valuable content and so on.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic day.
Hey, you too, man. I'm going to sign your book, so it's starting really good.
Thank you. Thank you,
brother. Talk to you.
Bye-bye.